Hey guys, in today's video we are going to be making a full moon water, and I am going to show you how I personally make it, which is by using things that correspond to the certain sign that the moon is in. And it's going to be only a quick, very simple tutorial video, but I hope it helps some of you out there. So first you will obviously need some water. I have prepared 2 jars of water, one for Pisces, one for Aries, and you can use however much you want, but I'm not going to use too much. But yeah, so water, and then you are going to need some herbs, or so these can be fresh herbs or dried herbs, and I am using mugwort, and I am using dried basil from ages ago. It's actually still right. Basil, and then I am also using fresh basil. So the mugwort is going to be for Pisces, because mugwort is all about your third eye, intuition and psychic abilities, which relates very closely to the sign of Pisces. So I'm going to put that one in there. Obviously you can Google up herbs that correspond to Pisces or herbs of Pisces, and you can pick out of the list that you can find. But yeah, so I went for mugwort. And then for Aries, I went for basil, because basil is a plant that corresponds to, a herb, sorry, that corresponds to fire. And Aries is obviously a fire sign. So I will be using both fresh and dried in the Aries water. And then you'll also need some essential oils, and for Aries I'm using eucalyptus, but it doesn't necessarily correspond to it, so I'm not sure. I'm just using it because it's supposed to be, hang on, it's supposed to be, eucalyptus oil is supposed to be for bringing in fresh energies and can be quite cleansing. And then for Pisces, I'm using clary sage, which is supposed to be, for intuition, and it's also associated with the third eye and psychic vision and stuff. So it's good for cleansing the third eye, so that will go into Pisces. And then next you'll need is some crystals. And I'll be using, for Aries, I'm going to be using, these are my crystals. And for Aries I'm going to be using citrine. And for Pisces I'll be using green aventurine and rose quartz and amethyst as well. So I'm putting those all in there. I didn't have very many fire corresponding crystals, which I really need to get, so I'm going to use citrine, and I think I'm actually going to throw in some clear quartz as well. Okay, here we go. So firstly I am going to put in probably about 5 to 6 drops of my clary sage. And then I'm going to get some mugwort that I dried like a year ago. This is just dried mugwort leaves and some of the flowers that are on top of the mugwort. I actually dried this in an oven under a very low temperature, and then stored it away. Mugwort is really good for psychic abilities, like I mentioned before. People sometimes use it in teas and things for lucid dreaming. Yeah, it's also really good for opening up your third eye. So all this stuff relates quite closely to the sign of Pisces. So that is why I'm including it in this water. When you feel like you have enough herbs in there, or plants or whatever, then we're going to add our crystals. The one thing to make sure with crystals is that not all of them can get wet. So today I'm using green aventurine, rose quartz and amethyst. All of these are okay to be in water, but there are a few that cannot go in water, so you need to look up online or find a reputable source and just make sure before you put it in. For instance, selenite can't go in water, it will just dissolve from what I've researched. So yeah, always best to look it up just to be safe. You don't want your expensive crystals getting ruined. So then I slowly put them in, obviously. Try not to fill up your jar of water too much, because when you add the crystals and things, it's going to raise the water slightly. And that's literally all there is to it. So I'll put on the lid. And I will mix it around slowly. Probably should have used a smaller rose quartz, just to make sure it's all in there. And then there it is. And on the full moon, which I believe is on Saturday or Friday, which is in Pisces, this is when this will go on my windowsill. And now on to Aries. So I'll add 5 to 6 drops of eucalyptus oil. Nice bit of Nescafe logo there for you. You can use absolutely any jars, obviously, that you can find lying around. You don't need any fancy things. Next I'll add my dried basil. And just sort of rub it between my fingers to just sort of break it up a little bit. And you can use full moon water for bathing with, for cleansing crystals, for you know, anointing yourself with, for well, you could even use it for things like paint water. For instance, Aries and Pisces can be quite linked to creativity. Obviously a little bit differently, but yeah, it'd be good to use as water for your paint. And then I'm going to add some fresh basil. My basil plant has like some of these brown dying leaves. I'm not actually really sure why. If anybody knows, please let me know in the comments, because most of it is quite healthy. The only thing with using fresh herbs is that the water can go mouldy, which I have found out before. So don't keep your moon water, if you're using fresh herbs, for too long. Right, and then we're going to put citrine inside. Smash the glass too, apparently. And then we are going to put some clear quartz in there as well. Now ideally you don't want to sort of just be smashing around like I did before. It'd be good to have like a stick or something that you can use to mix it in. I do normally have one, but I can't seem to find it at the minute, so I'm just going to swirl it a bit. Oh, actually, I'm going to use a paintbrush. There's Aries done. And then this will go out on, I believe it's Sunday, that it's Aries that's in the full moon, I think. So yeah, I'll put this one on my windowsill on Sunday. And I put it on the windowsill in the evening to sort of soak up the energies of the full moon, and then I take it off in the morning and place it in my room to use whenever I need to. I hope you guys loved this video. Please subscribe and like and comment and let me know how yours got on. I would love to see. Thank you so much. Bye!